What's up and welcome back. Today we are going to talk about drone cinematic techniques and I'm going to show you how to get the best footage out of your drone by optimizing your settings and utilizing accessories. But before we jump right in, I'm going to give you some basics so that you know what an ND filter is and what a CP filter is. And I'm going to show you this by utilizing my DSLR with some filters so that you have a basic understanding what those filters do with your footage. So let's begin with the ND filters. As Peter McKinnon stated a few weeks ago, ND filters are nothing else than sunglasses for your camera. And he's absolutely right. But before we get to the footage, don't forget to subscribe to my channel to stay up to date whenever I do crazy drone related stuff or tech reviews or unboxings. So let's get to the footage.
Okay, so this shot was taken on my Canon 5D Mark IV with an ISO of 100 and a shutter speed of 1:50. As I hold the ND filter in front of the lens, the whole picture is corrected to a right balance. As I remove the filter again, the picture gets blown out completely. With the ND filter, you're able to lower your shutter speed to the desired setting of 1:50 to achieve the most smooth movements, but more to that later.
A quick side note to all my followers out there. Make sure to watch the whole episode today because there is a special thing for you at the end of this video. So keep watching. Next up are the CP filters. CP filters are also called polarized filters. Basically what they do is they remove all the reflections from your footage. So that is affecting water surfaces, plants and shiny objects like cars or windows and such. But there is a catch. If you use an ND filter, it doesn't matter on which angle you put it onto your camera. But if you use a CP filter, it only works in a certain angle. So if you twist your CP filter by 90 degrees, it completely loses its polarizing effect. But if you twist it again further till you reach the 180 degree mark, it has again its polarizing effect. So always make sure that you know where your CP filter is reaching its highest polarizing effect. So let's get back to our river to see how the CP filter is affecting the reflection on the water.
We start out with a really shiny water surface, but as I start to turn around the CP filter, you'll notice that the water surface changes. The water surface is not the only thing that changes, it also is affecting the leaves and even the sky. So if I turn the polarization back on, you will notice that the sky is getting more blue than it was before. But just to be clear, a polarizing filter does not remove all the reflections from all the surfaces. You will always have a little bit of reflection left.
So water surfaces are not the only surfaces that can be highly affected by a CP filter. So let's take a look at this car.
Here you can see how immense the effect of a CP filter on a reflecting surface can be.
Since we now have covered the basics for filters, now I'm going to show you how to utilize this knowledge on your drone. My friends from Polar Pro did send me a little care package because I've been using their products from the beginning and I love the quality of their products and how dependable their filters are. So let's get unboxing.
So they got me the ND64 polarized filter and also the full Cinema Series filter set. Unleash the filters! With the single filters, you get the little box and oh, more goodies! You get a little filter bag. This is nice. And also more stickers and instructions how to get them onto your Mavic. Really cool. Through the reflection you already can see the coating on the lens. Okay, so it's time to unleash the others. Alright, so we are already used to this from the other filter pack. So we have the advertisement for the filter guide app and we have a cleaning cloth and some stickers again. And those are the filters. So let's take a closer look. Okay, so on the left now we have the Cinema Series and on the right the regular free pack. So let's compare those lenses with each other. The first thing you will notice when I move them around and you see the reflections on the filters is that the Cinema Series has a coating on the filters while the regular filters don't have a coating.
A quick word about the coating on the Polar Pro lenses. So if you have the standard issue lenses from Polar Pro, they don't have their special coating on it. So that means if you fly around in very bright areas and you have a lot of reflections or direct sunlight, you will have some glare in your footage. With the cinematic filter pack and the special coating on the filters, this glare will be reduced to a minimum, so if you fly over a lot of open water or something, the cinematic filter pack will be the better choice for you.
Okay, so let's compare the ND8 filters against each other. So if you take a closer look, aside from the optical differences, the regular filters are only made out of a plastic and they don't have the separate coating that the Cinema series does. The Cinema series, on the other hand, has a metal housing with some plastic inlays, as you can see here, and they have Polar Pro special coating. If you compare the two Cinema series filters, the polarized and the non-polarized, you won't see any difference from the outside. So let's put them on the Mavic and see whether they pass the gimbal test.
Concerning the gimbal calibration test, there are a lot of manufacturers of filters out there that are way cheaper than Polar Pro, but most of the time those filters won't pass the gimbal calibration test. So before buying your new filters, always make sure that those new filters will pass this test. Otherwise, you will always have to take off your filter, run the calibration test and put on the filter again. Pretty annoying, so make sure you have that one covered. Since Polar Pro CP and ND filter passed the gimbal test of the DJI Mavic Pro with flying colors, I'm going to show you now how to put on the polarizing filters the right way on the Mavic.
When using the polarizer filters, always make sure that either the writing or the Polar Pro logo is facing completely in this direction. So only with this direction you will achieve the highest polarizing effect with the filter. So easily said, no writing or logo, no polarization.
Filters are just part of the mix to achieve a real cinematic drone footage. You will also need to adjust some of your settings to achieve a really smooth transitioning and movement while you're filming. So when it comes to cinematic drone shots, there are two key elements when it comes to the settings. Number one is the ISO setting. If you can, you will have to go for the 100 mark. If you go for an ISO of 100, you will get the least noise in your footage. And especially if you use the DJI Mavic Pro, which tends to get a lot of noise in its footage, you want to aim for the ISO 100 so you lower the noise in your footage as much as you can. Number two, the shutter speed. So if you want really smooth movement in your footage and you don't want that stuttering when you're turning or something, you want to double your shutter speed compared to your frame rate. So if you're filming at 24 frames, you want to go for a shutter speed around 50. With that amount, you will get the most smooth movement and you won't have that stuttering when you're turning. So I'm going to show you in my next footage how the different shutter speeds are affecting your footage and how it feels to you. So let's jump right in.
Okay, so first up is a scene with the Mavic without any filter on it with the shutter speed of 500. And as you can see in this motion, there is a lot of stuttering and it's not really pleasant for the eye to watch. With the polarized ND8 filter, I was even able to lower the shutter speed to 160, and through the polarization you will notice that there are significantly lesser reflections on the water surface, but the movement is still a bit stuttering through the shutter speed of 160. So let's make that perfect. And now the perfect settings. We have an ND16 polarized filter with a shutter speed of 50, and just look at this footage. This has not been graded in post. So this is the original footage from the Mavic with this filter. The colors look vibrant, there is really no reflection on the water and the movement is smooth. So to give you a real comparison, this footage was taken with an ND16 filter from the regular series with a shutter speed of 50. And you can see that there is a lot of reflection on the water surface. The colors are not so vibrant as they are with the Cinema series, but the movement is still very soft, so you can achieve very good quality content with those filters. And as a special goodie, I'm giving you the ultimate showdown, so I'm comparing the no filter version against the perfect version with the shutter speed of 50, so you can see why you definitely will need filters for a cinematic look with your drone. Also with this version you can better see the motion blur compared to the stuttering movement.
Now you've seen the comparison of the Polar Pro filters with the DJI Mavic Pro. Which filter pack would you go for? Would you go for the cinematic version or would you go for the normal pack? Tell me in the comments below. I would really love to know which filters are you using and what do you think about the Polar Pro filters. If you need additional advice on how to choose the right settings for your drone, hit me also up in the comments and I will help you as far as I can. I hope today's techniques will help you to get those cinematic shots you're looking for. And if you liked today's episode, don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button to stay up to date whenever I do more drone related stuff or unboxings or gadget tests. So thank you for watching and I'm hoping to see you next time. To the foot. Woohoo! 300! Yeah! Yes, yes, yes! I just reached the 300 subscriber mark. I cannot tell you guys how much I appreciate your support and how much energy this gives me. So I'm promising you I will keep up the good work. I have so much content planned and there will be so much more for you to see. So if you like my content, don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's get back to the episode.